And we'd hitchhike in town and we'd catch the trolley. How far did it go west?
It'd come out Washington to,
Just about Aunt Jenny's.
oh, you mean going west?
Yeah.
When she was this when she was living on Jefferson? Okay, she wasn't.
Oh, Jefferson, yeah, okay.
Wait, why didn't Gus mow the lawn?
It'd go to the Capitol.
Why didn't Gus mow the lawn?
Gus was in.
He was busy
building
and
airplanes.
Well, he was a lot younger. He's
Yeah, he was a year
a
younger.
little older than I am. Elaine was 2 years older than I am, and Gus was 2 years older than she.
Gus was a couple of years younger, maybe 1 year, maybe two, I don't know.
Okay.
But it was a way for us to make some money. Uncle Gus.
Was that around in Candle Park where she lived in?
No, way out on Jefferson, behind, west of the Capitol.
Well, you went over there at both houses, but
Yeah, well, mostly out on Jefferson.
out on Jefferson, and the trolley did go out
When
as far as the
they moved to
Capitol.
Canada, that was about the time the war started.
Yeah,
Trolley.
that's right. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
a streetcar.
Streetcar. Ran from.
Why did we go to
I
San
think,
Francisco?
16th Street to 16th Avenue, didn't it?
I don't know.
Or
exactly.
24th Street.
I think they've got
I think it ran
they've got
from
another
that.
one up over there someplace.
I think they
Central,
went
I
from
think.
that house over to the Capitol.
Yeah.
That would have been around 19th Avenue.
I know if you got on those, the rails just right, the car would go,
All right, let me ask this second. Tell me more about Grandma. She was kind. She
Yeah.
was a lot of
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
How did her, whatever sickness she had, how did that affect her? Was she in pain?
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah.
some pain.
She developed quite a few headaches.
I can recall.
She'd spend all day in bed some days. She couldn't even get out of bed.
I can recall that she would have a headache, and Mrs. Langford, who was in next, would come over, and I could remember Mom sitting out in the yard in the shade, and Mrs. Langford massaging her head
Oh,
because
yeah.
she was having tremendous headaches.
Yeah.
Is it a relation to
No,
I don't know if it was or not. All I
No.
remember is the daughter was named Flora, I think, Flora Langford.
yeah.
And,
What would Uncle Kenneth do to make her laugh so
I don't know, he just
He was
talked.
just a natural comedian.
He just.
hard? I mean, was it punchlines or was it just?
Kind of like that. Some sarcasms and some punchlines and stuff. But, he was funny, cause I'd sit there and laugh too. But then when Mom would start catching her breath, it would scare me, and I'd try to get him to shut up, and he wouldn't.
I have a question. No, I don't have a question. The only thing I remember about that grandmother was that I was about 5. I was born in 42. When did you say 47 she passed away?
Yeah.
And I was trying to learn how to count, and I would ask her to count. And she counted
Okay.
over and over for
Give
me,
him a
and
kiss
she
in the
counted to 10 or 20 or something, and I just do it over and over when I would ask her to. When I got older, I thought that was
Look,
great.
I've
She was
kept her.
that patient with some little itty
Okay.
bitty.
All right.
Count for me, Grandma.
Well, I remember a trip from Mesa to Phoenix, and Donna was with us. We were in Casper's car, and Donna was, of course, was up, and you didn't have to have the seat belts or anything, so you kind of squeezed up behind the driver and hung on. But all the way over, she had her mouth going, blah, 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 blah.
That's the story of her life.
And Dad said, when we got to Phoenix, he said to Mom, he says, doesn't she ever shut up?
Well, he said that about me and especially him.
I think he named motor mouth. He told a lot of people that, but I remember he always called me motor mouth.
No. Donna chattered.
Yeah, she did.
She chattered.
I still do. We only took Guy fishing once, I think, because I talked too much. I said, that's the only reason the fish jumped in the boat, because we had to get out.
Yeah. She charms them into the boat.
All right, give me another description of Grandma. Kind and what else?
Just
Did she
sick
have-
all the time.
Did she have a sense of humor?
Oh, she enjoyed a good
Yeah.
story, or,
But would she tell stories?
no, not that I recall.
Was she serious?
Was she affectionate?
Not really.
Not really.
You had to ask.
Not really.
Not as affectionate as Phyllis, okay?
Yeah.
Betcha, 10-1.
She wasn't, she was real affectionate to the babies.
Oh, yeah.
You get a baby in there and she just loved them to death.
All right, she had 10 children. That was a lot of kids even back then,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they want the big family?
I can't say answer that.
No, I can't either, but I never heard them say anything about, having a big family and not wanting one. I guess they just took it in stride. That was part
Play
of
the
nature.
cards you're dealt.
What was that, guy?
Play the cards you're dealt.
Do you want a big family, Don?
We started for 5, bumped to 7, finished at 8.
Well, I'm about ready to call it a day, fellas.
Let me ask one last question. How did you find out about Grandma passing? Who was at the hospital when she passed?
Phyllis. Phyllis, was at the hospital and
Charlene was in there.
was she? They were getting ready to leave. In fact, they had come out of the hospital and was about the sidewalk or the curb, and the nurse came out and said, "You better come back in. I think she's going." And she died.
Was that the south side?
Yeah.
Now, I can remember, what I remember about it is a week or so before, or a few days before, I was riding my bicycle down in front of the Bonds. Kenneth rode up and told me that they didn't expect Mama to live.
Yeah.
And I was, 10 years old or so. And then the morning, she died, I guess, in the evening or something, but I can remember in the back bedroom, we had a double bed that I slept on at that time. And Daddy come in crying and sat down on the bed and woke me up and told me that Mama died.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I remember about the situation. I believe they took me to the hospital when she was in there that last time. I think they took me down to see Mom. But I think that was, I don't recall of going down, every day or anything like that. But that was back in the days, they didn't allow a lot of visitation. They had certain hours you could
Yeah.
visit,
Visiting hours.
and they didn't allow children in, and they had different regulations than they do nowadays. But I can, in just a foggy memory that I went down and saw her, and then I remember Kenneth telling me that she probably wouldn't live, and then it was one of the few times I saw Daddy crying when he was sober. And he came in and sat down on the bed and told me that Mama died.